Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is your friend Rahul Deo. I was also known by nickname called Adi. I'm your technical friend, and today I'm gonna speak about a special tool called StormMCP. Right? That's a very interesting tool which helps in connecting most of the I would say agents in the market at present that you have it with a very simple way to get that moving, or maybe getting the data from various sources or various tools or all those things in a very easy way. It's again, and if I just speak about it, it's more of a MCP gateway, in a single term. But I understand that many of my friends are maybe non-technical or maybe less technical to understand the MCP term. So maybe I'll just speak about it, what this tool is, or maybe in a single term what MCP you know is mean is, or maybe what's the APIs are and all those things. So maybe I'll just speak about it in a very simple term which can be understood by any of the non-technical person as well. So let's take an example. You might be building a very different kind of a robot, a very cool thing that you would like to build it, where you have a bunch of robots which would like to you would like to maybe mix them together, or maybe wanted to utilize them to make a special robot in total. So if you just look at it in a very simple term, a robots, they speak their own language. Maybe let's take an example. A robot maybe use a sign language, like maybe hand gesture, all those kind of things. But other robots which maybe speaks with beeps, maybe say beep beep beep, like old kind of the telephones, all those kind of Morse code and all those things. You can also have those kind of secrets code as well, how they maybe speak together. So they may be speaking in a different language, but in total, as an engineer, if you like to understand what they have been talking on, you may have to understand all these three or four kind of gestures, language, or maybe secret code, or maybe these kind of sound waves or all those things to understand what they have been speaking. But in order to understand that, you should take them as an example of the different APIs in the web, by which you can just get the information or post the information. It's just maybe the simple or the same thing that you can just think about it. In order to call those APIs, you have to just have a simple gateway or a translator which can understand what they have been talking together, maybe like robots who have been talking together, but they don't understand each and every language. So we need a translator kind of a thing in between, right? And in order to understand their language, it will be difficult. But if you have a common platform or the gateway options which can learn them and then convert them into the simple manner of the final, then that makes the thing easier, right? That's how the things works in here through Storm MCP, right? So now if I just speak about the MCP, then just take it MCP as a magic translator that makes all these robots speak in the same language. And with this MCP, if we just take an example of our technical engineers who writes code and all those things, what they will do with this MCP, they can just will not spend a lot of time on fixing the problems or figuring out the strange instruction that has been given, where they can easily build with this MCP servers, like very simple way, clear and fast way. That's why MCP is such a big deal here, right? It helps teams building things quicker with a lesser confusion. This is how the power of Storm MCP comes into the ground. So that's what I would like to explain about Storm MCP. Okay, so Storm MCP is again, it's a very user-friendly tool. You can just I'll show that demo as well in the later term. You will see that how easy it is to build, and maybe look at the things. But before that, I would like to also like to give information where you can just get the detail of Storm MCP. Storm MCP, you can just either go to the website of stormcp.ai, or maybe you can just click on this link, that is try8.cc/WLFDHV0. Right. So that's where you can just go and look at the detail of StormMCP. But I'll just go forward and maybe I'll show you a simple video where you can understand what MCP looks like and how it's gonna work for everybody. Okay, go ahead. I'm just going forward.
Engineers spend more time fixing integrations than building features. StormMCP flips that. One gateway, one protocol, zero friction, where engineering teams starts building at the speed they're meant to. Engineering teams move fast, but their environment keeps slowing them down. Before StormMCP, every AI feature requires juggling multiple tools. Each has its own API, its own authentication flow, and its own unpredictable failure patterns. Logs live everywhere. Credentials are scattered. Debugging feels like detective work instead of engineering. This becomes a silent tax on every developer. Work that should take 1 hour quietly expands into a full day because engineers spend most of their time wrestling with integration issues and glue code instead of building actual features. The team adapts, but the strain shows. They feel the drag, even if they don't talk about it. This is the bottleneck that StormMCP is built to eliminate. The moment engineers route all AI interactions through StormMCP, the first noticeable change is clarity. One gateway, one protocol, one way to interact with every AI tool. The architecture diagram becomes simpler. Integration failures drop. Mental overhead drops. And beneath that simplicity is a solid foundation. Every MCP server has been vetted, audited, and performance tested. Engineers stop worrying about pulling in unstable tools or writing wrappers for every service. They don't need to rebuild auth flows because StormMCP includes secure OAuth 2, API key handling, and credential management by default. The environment that used to feel scattered suddenly feels organized and dependable. Once observability kicks in, engineers finally see what's happening under the hood. Every request, every response, every error is visible in real time. No more guessing, no more hunting for logs across half a dozen services. This new transparency alone saves hours each week. Then, standardization becomes the next upgrade. Calls to tools follow one consistent pattern. Definitions are clean and reproducible. The team stops wasting energy remembering each tool's quirks. Context sharing amplifies everything further. LLMs understand data sources more naturally. RAG pipelines become stable. Outputs become more accurate. StormMCP manages context in a structured, predictable way, reducing the odd mismatches that engineers used to fight regularly. File system operations inside StormMCP simplify how teams manage data. RAG ingestion becomes organized instead of chaotic. Artifacts stay structured. The days of temporary scripts and messy cron jobs begin to fade, and as workloads grow, Storm scales cleanly with them. Engineers no longer face sudden performance cliffs. The platform handles rising volume without forcing architectural rewrites. Security also becomes far easier. Policies are centralized. Credential handling is standardized. Compliance stops slowing teams down because security is not an afterthought. It is embedded into every part of StormMCP. Engineers can build faster without compromising safety or governance. The biggest productivity leap appears when StormMCP integrates directly with Claude Desktop. One click and the entire Storm environment becomes available inside the LLM interface. Engineers can build, debug, plan, and reason without switching tools or copying credentials. Custom embedding models work instantly. Vector databases integrate smoothly. Multi-tool pipelines become unified and auditable. At this point, the engineering team understands what changed. StormMCP did not just simplify AI interactions. It removed friction across the entire development lifecycle. Features ship faster. Debugging is cleaner. Infrastructure stabilizes. Cognitive load drops. Engineering feels like engineering again. This is the real value StormMCP delivers.
So again, if you look at how easy it is, it's just very simple. Hope you understand, what this solves. with a MCP gateway, your engineering team, maybe a company's engineering team, can do the things faster. They can, use all the AI agents at a single place. They can integrate them together. They can get the data in a very, very simple way by connecting all, and then maybe generating the right result from multiple sources, and then getting the right output for your customers, or maybe your project itself. So that's what I would like to explain on the, talking about the Storm MCP. Again, I'm just going back, okay, here. So you can, if you would like to learn more about Storm MCP, or maybe like to try it, you can just utilize my link. You will get some offer to utilize this for a limited period of time as a free, without any limit. You can just go forward and try it again. Thank you very much. Here is your friend Rahul Dev again. Cheers. Bye bye.